Welcome to the stream. So in this stream we will be looking into a Python library called request HTML, which is used for parsing HTML and web scraping. So the project I am trying to build is so basically if we can monitor the follower count of any account, and basically our project will go and scrape Instagram.com slash the profile name for and look into the follower count and see if there is any change in the follower count. If there is a positive change, it will give us a notification. So our main goal is to use a request HTML library and see if we could scrape the follower count of an Instagram profile. First we will try to do that, and if there is time and if we can we have the time, we will possibly try to implement a desktop notification system using a library called Notify2. So let's start. So for starting, so I'm picking this account called People Who Code, which is a famous Instagram account for coding and mostly for coding and JavaScript stuff. So we will try to scrape the follower count of this account. So this is the library request HTML. If you can go to the documentation or PyPy page, and you will get all the working and documentation. So here also documentation is very well written, so make sure to check out documentation. So let's start by creating a new folder. So let's create a new folder called follow scraper, and let's move into the folder, and let's create a virtual environment. And let's activate the environment. So as always, this is also not a practiced or prepared video. We are just going to jump into the project and see where it takes us. We will be of course doing some googling and taking help from Stack Overflow. So yeah, so let's create the Python file main.py. Before that we have to install request HTML. So for installing we have to say pip3 install request HTML, and it usually takes a time. If you have never used the library, it will take time to load for the first time. So now it is installed. Let's also open the documentation here. So okay, so first we have to import it. So we are importing HTML section from request HTML. Then we are saying session equal to HTML session. Then we are saying r equal to session dot get. Here we will be passing in our URL. So here we are giving the URL to the Insta page called People Who Code. So basically one thing you have to notice is that it is not a normal HTML page. Instagram or Facebook, they use React, which is a JavaScript library to render their pages. So in the olden days it was very easy to do web scraping as it was just plain HTML, but now if we inspect a website's source, we don't see anything. We only see JavaScript, or we don't see the proper HTML, so we can't scrape them. So for that we have a utility function in request HTML which we can use. So if we navigate, if we go down, we have JavaScript support. here we can see, let's grab some text that's rendered by JavaScript. So basically what we can do is, after taking the session, after taking the URL and content into the R variable, we can do rhtml.render to grasp the HTML content from the JavaScript rendering. Once we have that, let's for now just try to print the content dot text. So now if we try to run main.py, take some time, let's see. Okay, so it is taking some time. So basically what I was saying was this, that if we go to the view page source and see that see, we basically don't have the content, like it is just JavaScript files being listed here. See, we don't have any HTML here. It is all rendered by React, so we can use that normal HTML parsing. That's the reason we are using HTML.render to render the content behind it. So yeah, so now we can see that now here also we can see now that it has rendered the content. Okay, this is the full HTML source of the URL. So now what we can do is, let's clear this first. Okay, so now what we are going to do is, we need to reach this follower count. So if we go to the okay, so if we want to reach here through filtering out the content, we have to, like, so we can see that this has a class of G47sy. Okay, so we have this class here, but one thing to notice is that even this has the same class. So basically this full row of post, followers and following is using the same class, so we'll have to keep that in mind. So what we can do is first try to search for, let's see how we can search for something in a class. So if we come down here, so we go to the documentation. Here we can see that we can go for, like, yeah, select an element with a CSS selector. So now here we can try to get the class of G4, what was it, G47sy. So we'll copy that. Okay, so now let's try to find that. So before the print statement, we are going to write, we're going to call it profile info equal to r.html.find, and here we are giving the class G47sy, and let's just print the profile info. So basically our script is now going to the URL instagram.com people who code and doing HTML rendering, and now trying to find out a class, elements with class .g47sy. So we can see that it returns an array. So in array we have, as we have seen seen before that there is three elements, basically the post, followers and following. Here also we can see that there is three array. First one is for the post, second is for followers, and third one is for following. So now what we want the followers count, so basically it is the second array, this is this array. So we can try to reach into that. So let's say followers info equal to profile info and array index 1, because 0 is the one which is about post, and array 1 is about the followers, and array 2 will be about following. Now if we try to print out followers info, let's rerun the command again. Okay, so now we can see that now we are getting in the individual element of followers, which has the class G47SY and a title. Inside the title attribute we are having the followers count, so we have to target for the attribute. So now let's see how we can target the attribute. So now if we come down here, we can see that it is element dot attrs. So let's see if we can reach into that. So basically F scraping is all about filtering and reaching out to the content that you want. So now what we can do now is let's see, now if we just print out follows info dot attrs, and let's see what happens. Okay, so now we can see that it is giving us two attributes, one is class, another is title. So we need to target the title, so because we need title. So let's create another variable here called count, and here we want to followers info dot attrs, and in here we can say title, and let's see what happens when we try to print out count. Okay, so now we are able to get the follower count of the Instagram ID URL. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Like if you see, we just went from using the request HTML library and giving it a URL, which Instagram profile URL, and it rendered the page in HTML and grabbed the elements having the class of G47SY, and we filtered it out to the followers, and again we went to the attributes to reach the final result, or the text value, or the followers count value. So now we have it, we have the count. Now we can so basically what we can do is, so that's all for the request HTML session. This is how you do the basic stuff. If we go to documentation, you have everything laid out correctly, so you can build many projects. Like you can build a price comparison checker. Like if you have a product in Amazon and a product in eBay, you can make a script that will go check out the price simultaneously, like every 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So here now we'll try to automate the stuff and see if the follower count changes. So we are importing time, and we can say while true, So we are going to put the code inside the while loop, so that when the script is running, the code just keeps on running. So here now what we can do is we can say, okay, we have to do this every 1 minute 60 seconds. So let's say time dot sleep 60. So now what it does is, when the script runs, it goes and do all the following thing it did now, and once it reaches here, it just goes to sleep for 1 minute, and again it will repeat the process. And we will just have a look into it. Like, let's give it 10 seconds. Okay, so it did the first run. It has given us the follower count. Now it will sleep for 10 seconds. It will rerun the code again. You can see that it ran again. So basically this is how it runs. So now we can say that, okay, it will run again after taking 10 seconds break. It can run. So let's stop it. Okay, so now what we have to do, like, when the follower count changes, we can say that when the count changes, just give us a notification. So for notification, we are going to use a library called notify2. Let's try to use it. So for using this, we have to install it again. So we can say pip3 notify2. Sorry, pip3 install notify2. Okay, now the notify2 package is ready, installed. Okay, so for using notify2, we have to init first call notify2.init. So we can see here in the documentation that says to start using it, we have to init with the app name. So now let's see. So let's init here n equal to notify2.init. then I have to give it a name. We can give it insta follow scraper, and then okay, and then we need to, okay, so every time when the scraping is done, we need to get a notification. So let's see. So we can do it after the print statement is done, or we can just remove the print statement. So let's comment it down for now, and here we can say okay. So there is a change here. Let's see if it will work or not. So here we can say n equal to notify2 dot notification, and let's give it summary and the text here. So for the text we can say format, and let's pass in the count. Okay, then we need to, okay, so we need to pass an icon which we don't have now. Now let's see if that we can call n.show to show the notification and see if it works. Okay, so now we have error. Okay, I forgot to import the notify to. We have to import it here. Import notify to, and again let's see. Let's run it again. This time we have error called import dbs, no module name dbs. Okay, so now we have an error. Let's see. So when you encounter an error, just take the line and just try to search it in Google. So first the application name or the library you are using, notify to, then say error dbus. So now we can see that. See, first we get the Stack Overflow result. Here we can see that we have to do an install for dbus python, and let's see if it works. Let's say pip3 install dbus python. So basically when you encounter an error, just Google it and see, just say that if there is any Stack Overflow question being asked on the same topic, which it will be in most cases. So now if we try to run again, let's hope it runs, and it again gives the same error. Maybe because, let's see, let's install it here, dbus python. Okay, so this giving us error again, so let's again Google it, notify to dbus import. So now let's see Reddit. Okay, so basically we can look for other library for now, just to save some time. Notification. Okay, so let's try to use notifiers for now, because notify to is giving us a, let's try our luck with notifiers. Pip install notifiers. Okay, so now that is installed, let's try. So we have to call from notifiers, we have to get the get notifier have to get the get notifier function, and okay, and we have to initialize it here. Okay, so let's say p equal get notifier and say push over, and we have to remove this notify to code, and let's see if it works here. So we have to do is required p dot required, then okay, it has to be p notify, then why there is user and stuff. Okay, so we have to pass in the user token and message. So let's just give something foo, then okay, so we have to say user equal to foo and token equal to bar and message equal to test. Okay, so let's see if it works. Okay, oh okay, basically we don't have to wait for it to run. Let's see, let's try this line first. Let's see if the notification code works, the library works. Oh, what's happening? Oh, international error. Okay, so nothing happens. So maybe notifier is not what we need. Oh, I felt that was a notification. Let's look for another library. Desktop notification. Okay, so let's try Pi notifier, which is a cross platform. So we might be having issues with some issues with the application, not the application, actually the platform, OS platform. So the ones we might be requiring some specific installations of the OS. So now let's try Pi notifier, which is our third library for doing this stuff. Okay, so now we have Pi notifier import notification, and here what we have to do is, okay, let's just copy paste it and see if it works first. Okay. Okay, we don't need the icon. Can we just skip over that? Okay, so now let's see if it works. Okay, so now we have a notification description. Okay, good, perfect. So now it works. So let's cut it and paste it below. So we can put it here. Okay, so now we have to say the title is follow. Okay, the title we can give our app name, which is Insta follow scraper, Insta follower scraper. And description we can say monitoring follower count and duration 5 seconds. Okay, yeah, 5 seconds, how much time it has to be on the screen, and urgency is critical. Okay, sorry. So for the description we have to give the value actually, so we will give firstly we have to intend it correctly. Okay, so for the description we will be saying follower count, then we will be adding our count value. So now if we try to run it, let's see if it works. So basically we went, okay, it's working. So now we can see the follower count there. Okay, now after 5 seconds that notification will go. So basically we went from using notify to, which didn't work. Then we used a notifier, which also didn't work. So now we are using PyNotifier, which is a cross-platform Python library for sending out desktop notification. So we don't. Okay, so basically we can remove that time, like 5 seconds to 2 seconds maybe. And why it is not going away? Okay, so basically you won't be needing to do it every 10 seconds. We can just say, okay, we can say this has to be like 2 seconds. Just come and go. So now our code basically does like goes and grabs the follower count of any URL which we provide, Instagram URL which we provide, and gives us a desktop notification using a library called PyNotifier. So we can even improve the code to be like it only allows when there is a difference in the follower count from the previous check. We can do that, or we can just, yeah, we can, like, if you think about it, you can make the project like more complicated or something like that, or we can just keep it like this. Okay, so basically that it is not going away. You see the notification is just adding up but not going away. Okay, so let's see. So now the follower count is 230206. Let me try to follow the account. So here I am going to follow the account. So now I am following, so it should be 230206. Yeah, so now it is changed, like now the follower count is 230207. Okay, so someone else also followed. Now it it is 230208. So let me unfollow it and see if it goes down. Okay, now it went back to 230207. Let me follow it again. So now it should be 230208. Yes. Again, let me unfollow. So now it should be 2308, 230207. And yes, now let me follow again. So now it should be 230208. And that's all for the video. Have a look. So the project will be uploaded to GitHub. Have a look, try it out, and yeah, that's all for the video. Hope you enjoyed.